I literally just bloody woke up, so if I look like a mess, that's why. Um, Me making videos, it's always chaos, and of course, because I always cause chaos for myself, and I'm not helping myself exactly when I like try to bring a statement across or how I feel, or never really been good at it. But as of lately, I think it's all scrambled eggs. Anyway, I just wanted to make a video about something else that kind of came up among all the other chaos that I caused, with friendships and trust building, and how I had to deal with loss, or have to deal with loss, and then also health problems that I still have to figure out. And now on top of that, like, I just have that one thing that came up automatically, and that's just basically me as a trans person. The world right now is, yeah, it's dark in my room, but I don't care actually. It's just I don't like to be too visible here. Um, the world is the world. It sucks at times. But the transgender hate, not ideology, what you thought I was gonna say, because this is the problem, as I'm just gonna mention, or as I'm about to say. Um, there's a rise against transgenders right now, trans people, because there's conservatives or people throwing every trans person under the bus, that they're in a trans ideology, that only real trans people have dysphoria, that only real trans people suffer, that only real trans people stay in the closet, and they don't talk about their identity or everywhere on billboards, and they don't manipulate the children and ruin lives, right? Normal, simple, southern, rural, country lives with a man and a woman, and sort of. Um, I don't know anymore. Like, I can understand both sides. Like, that trans people just want rights and be known and seen, and sometimes the way certain people do it within the community are loud. In the same way that there are some conservatives out there that are very loud right now as well, and making videos and have power, as much power as the trans person supposedly, to manipulate people, because they're doing it the same way trans people do, just the opposite. They're trying to convince people that trans ideology is a thing, and that schools are manipulating children into whatever. And then there's a group of the trans community which says, yeah, but every conservative wants us in a gas chamber and kill us. The thing is, how I now see it, though, it does remind me of it. That we've come this far, and also we've come this far as in everything's just collapsing right now. Everything we worked for is just gone now. Like, trying, like my last video that I still agree with, like, trying to be a community as people together, and instead we're just throwing fingers at each other and calling each other monsters and sick in the head, instead of like trying to understand what we are as people, even though we can be very weird and very selfish and very jealous and whatever. It's only like we're only going backwards, far backwards, beyond before the 70s right now, in ways of there's over 500 600 bills against transgender people in America alone right now. I told someone recently at the doctor, I had my lungs checked because I cough a lot and I have issues with my throat and breathing. And that woman there, the nurse, was very sweet, and the other doctor was very sweet, and I felt respected and understood, because the thing is, they had to know I was trans or am trans, because sometimes certain checkups they have to do involves you taking off your shirt and seeing like how you are with your anatomy, sort of, because the doctor had to feel here as well to see if there's like a swelling or that here is fine and everything, but I just panicked and I told doctor, yeah, I have dysphoria and I'm not comfortable with like certain areas being touched. And that doesn't mean I don't trust doctors in general. Like, how do you call it? I mean, I don't trust many people, but it's more like I believe in doctors, their thoughts, right? Their science. I know, wow, I believe in science, wow, but science is a lot more complicated as well than just X, Y, and Z, and that's one thing. But also because I just felt uncomfortable, and as a person in general, if you feel uncomfortable around the doctor, then it's okay to tell them, because it's not because you hate the doctor or you don't want to get checked anymore. It's sometimes just because you're trying to process the fact you're in a very uncomfortable situation and you don't know how to handle it. Like, I didn't have to take off my shirt for the lung scan, and you would be like, yeah, but fair is fair, you have to do that. And I'm like, we tried without, and they had, as far as they told me at least. Otherwise, I would have probably taken off my shirt and just, covered myself up somewhere, because I didn't have top surgery yet. And that also kind of makes people believe I'm not a real trans person because I haven't had top surgery or something, whatever. Um, but yeah, they saw my results, and I looked at my lungs as well, and I was like, oh wow, they're big, and so far so good. I also got my blood taken. I got an allergy test done. Those things are universal. It hurt like hell for me, honestly, but I'm just a sensitive little mushy. Um, no allergies. That so far. Also, that's good because, of course, in my blood there could be allergies or a reaction of something that they still have to let me know about. Um, when was it? Was it already? If it was today, I'm gonna have a problem. It might be a problem. I'm gonna have to check if I have that appointment today already, because it was last Friday, and those doctors were on like schedule, and they were like ready to check me. And as was also new to me, like my entire life, I'll also call this an update, I guess. My entire life, doctors have just pushed me aside and be like, okay, that's it, done. Maybe these doctors as well, and it just seemed like they were actually doing research on me. Well, the allergy test was real and the blood taking was real, but let's say the lung scan wasn't good enough. I also tried the breathing test, like you have to blow into a mouthpiece and stuff, and that was difficult for me also because I almost got a panic attack in that tiny box there. But they got as much as they think that seems fine enough, right? So anyway, mentally, physically, I'm in all over the place. Some things I have in hand, and others I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Um, and sometimes the answer is right before my nose, and sometimes it isn't. It isn't. And right now, about being trans, I have like an account somewhere that is, I'm not gonna say what. Some people already figured it out because it was that easy to find, actually, a lot easier than I thought. And I can't delete it because it's like an old email, an old password. So I tried to switch up my new account a little bit more, so it's less likely that people want to find me there. But people who know my name, my real name, they're still gonna. So it is what it is. But the people who found it, I was in a fight with, supposedly, that I had in hand, by the way, and they looked like aggression, but then they were like, yeah, but we understand you, we're inclusive, this and that. But dude, I don't know why it even involved my identity. It was just something that felt like aggressive to me. And then people here would say, see, you're just overreacting as a trans person. That's one reason why trans people can be in life, because they're oversensitive and this and that. But that's the reason why we are oversensitive, is because we have dysphoria. We are afraid. There's a reason why people are sensitive. And that's the thing that some of you or conservatives don't want to listen to. Because you're as sensitive as us in a way, because you don't want to listen to us like explain things to you. If you had us on a chair just sitting across from each other, just listen to each other. Like you don't even want that, because you're frightened of the trans people. You hate them. Because that is hate. You just avoid people like us. You don't want to respect us. You don't want to believe that we're around you everywhere already. Anyways, throughout history, walked around you, and we just had a different way of expressing it, or we weren't aware of it yet. We were actually already there. You passed many trans people, you passed many gay people, you passed even many murderers. You can panic about that. Trust me, I'm panicking myself just sometimes thinking about it, but at the same time it's like, if you say it's life to us, then I guess it's life to you as well. And that is fair, right? Fair is fair. But again, I'm so upset and broken still because we are going back in the closet right now just to protect ourselves. That's why I say we're going back in time. We're basically being shut back in just to please the conservatives. Or conservatives, I'd call them that, but I'm just gonna call it like, not bigots or anything, I'm just gonna call them narcissists, no, ignorance, that's what all describes them though. Fearful, unaware, uneducated, snowflakes as well, I guess. I don't know, I don't have an actual name for these people. Because there are good conservatives out there, right? They have their own beliefs, although, actually, to actually think of it, I mean, there's more traditional people like my parents, and they respect my identity. They can just not force them to use the right pronouns right now or name, because my mom has memory loss. But that's why I do understand that. It's just, I don't know to. I can't call my mom as a conservative or necessarily, because she doesn't believe she is either. It's just, that's what I'm, yeah. Anyway, this was the video. I just want to make you all aware of how I feel again, and how it's just, the world is frightening. Like it always has been, but right now I don't want to be like outed as a trans person at my job for some stupid reason, because right now it's getting close, and there's people at work that just don't believe in trans people, or don't believe that trans people can be the identity they believe they are. Like, some people believe I'm a man, but they say I'm not an actual man, which just devalues my entire purpose, because there are men out there who have deformities physically as well, and they're not even trans. And there's men out there who are very feminine, and they're straight, and they're cis, and they're small like me, and do not compare me to them because I'm just trans. Where are you going with this shit? Like I said, I don't want to label anyone or put anyone in one box at all. Like, if I put on everything on a paper, and the other, and let's say a cis guy does, that isn't of the same. Let's say it's literally me, but a cis version of me as a guy. That would be the exact same thing. But you're gonna devalue me as a trans person, but not as a cis person? Like, you have, yeah. That's just something I never understand. That's all.